How do you feel into these pandemic times? Bad? Obviously, I'm not asking this question to the ones that have had tragic events concerning their family and friends. I would never tolerate. I'm asking to the luckiest others, including myself. How do we feel? Bad. All right, all right. But why? Well, if we take the time to analyze what is really disturbing us, I'm ready to bet that having to change many of our habits is one of the major issues here indeed. A big part of the sickness is coming from the fact that we are resisting to change. One of my best pictures. My name is Fabrizio, and for the bodies, the half-brain man. I got this nickname since September 2015 when an ischemic brain stroke has damaged 50% of my brain. Since then, I am an hemiplegic. I didn't even know the meaning of the word hemiplegic because these things happen only to others, isn't it? Well, now I know it. 60% of my body is paralyzed. After reading my biography, someone said, Fabrizio, you look qualified to talk about how to embrace change. Everybody fully alive is qualified to talk how to embrace change. 4 billion of years of evolution since life started on this planet. 200,000 years to get Homo sapiens ready for a TED Talk. And I managed to come here broken. Congratulations, Fabrizio. I know TED deserves better than half a brain. But in a period of crisis, this is what you get. You say there is no evolution if you are not intrigued by change. You certainly recognize this illustrious sir. No, he's not Gandalf, the magician of the Lord of the Rings. No. This gentleman said a sentence that is very often used and will continue to be used for eternity. He said, it's not the strongest nor the most intelligent that will survive. It is the most responsive to change. Charles Darwin, of course. Definitely true for business evolution, true for species evolution, of course, true for our mind, confronted to daily hysterical issues. So true that it would have been nice if Sir Darwin would have had a few lines to explain us what is the magic formula for responsiveness. I know. Responding remains 100% our responsibility. If now you expect that somebody with half a brain is coming and bringing you the universal magic formula of responsiveness, it means you love a science fiction movie. Some of my friends believe I have something to say. I don't know. Maybe because I have an intense modern life, like I assume the majority of you has. Graduating, changing my job 12 times, relocating 8 times, cooperating with 14 new different bosses, including my wife, hiring 200 brilliant people of different nationality with the privilege to visit and do business in 100 different nations. A good salary, driving a Ferrari, and now driving a wheelchair without any job, unemployed and handicapped. However, I continue to keep smiling and over-enjoy life against all the psychologist's statistical expectations. My friends start questioning me, Fabrizio, what is wrong with you? You should be in deep depression. Where is the trick? The trick. What is the trick? After weeks and months of reasoning, searching for the trick, I finally landed with absolutely nothing revolutionary. Nothing that I can make money with. Just some basic cuisine. Just a reminder of what we already know. Because the issue is not that we don't know what to do. The issue is that we don't do what we know, isn't it? Premise. I love cooking. As a most of chemists. So here is my attempt to structure a recipe to how to embrace change. Simple and basic. 3 dishes. A starter, main dish, and a dessert. Simple and basic. Now, as my compatriot Leonardo da Vinci said, simplicity is the ultimate sophistication. Let me try to go through the main dishes and go into the ingredients of the main dishes. Enhanced perception. Starter. Perception. Whom perception? Our perception. Perception of what? Perception of the now, of the present moment. Do you all believe to have a perfect perception of the present moment? Yeah? Well, the one that believe yes without hesitation, they should try to compete with my 90 years old grandfather to look for mushrooms in the same forest spot. Be ready for an humiliating experience. If you want a more suitable example, how many times happened to you that the understanding from a presentation was totally different from the understanding of the same presentation followed by one of your colleagues, to the point that you wondered if you were attending to the same presentation? Well, what probably happened is that at a certain moment, you or your colleague switch it to what we're going to call the automatic flying mode. Our mind often, without asking our permission, switch to an autopilot, flying into past memories, start imagining future options, and we lose the present moment, isn't it? Well, this recipe strongly recommends to stop the automatic flying mode when a change is approaching. We cannot respond properly if we don't have a super clear understanding of what is happening all around us. In case you have some doubt about your perception, slow down and start asking sharp questions to yourself and to anybody that can be of any help. Be vocal, accept help. And now, the main dish, joy testing. Joy is an insurance of success. I hope that everybody agree. Many prestigious authors have already addressed the importance of joy for our mind and body, including the magic biochemistry that our brain generates when we are joyful. Well, for these reasons, this recipe recommends to measure our joy level every day, at least 5 minutes a day. As a joy meter does not exist yet, we might compare our happiness of today with yesterday and visualize ourselves into the following days. If we feel that our joy risks to be damaged, we need to go immediately back to the drawing board and remove or compensate, counterbalance all the recurring damaging foundations. This requires some analysis followed by action to redesign or to reorganize. Some creativity might be involved. Have you never tried to be creative when you are upset or sad? Good luck. Furthermore, this recipe is recommending to focus on the upside. Another one that talk about upside. Yes. There is always a glass half full in any darkest situation. Always. The upsides sometimes are small, tiny, and funny. Sometimes they are huge and very serious. It is our job to take the time and to find them. In case tomorrow morning you wake up with 60% of your body paralyzed, it's not my wish, but I have some experience on that, so I can share it. The list of upside is so long that we will not have the time to talk about all of them. You want some example of the funniest one? For example, my seat is certainly more comfortable than yours, certainly. And I'm available to testing if you are intrigued. If you love traveling, I have dedicated check-in gate dedicated hosted or steward, dedicated security line, no queue at passport control, a dedicated boarding bus with private elevator. I'm always first on plane. All the frequent flyer, silver, gold, platinum, all behind me. The Andy card is by far better than any platinum card. And now, let's move to the more serious one. Now, I'm traveling with my two sisters, Chiara and Francesca. By the way, my bodyguards. They're in the room, of course, because they have to secure everything where I go. I have time for their extended family, their husband, their prodigious kids. I finally time for my wife, Sarah, to share my love and to receive her love. I have time for friends. I have time to hug the full rescue team. They put me back in a new life, expressing a new, different, full potential. I was in paradise together with you, and I have neglected. Not any longer. And now, you believe you could finish, no? And now, the dessert respond. Well, the dessert is a very, very traditional cuisine. We take our goals, we prioritize them. The two large goals or issues, we break it down in very little objectives, one by one, always in one direction to achieve the goal. But maybe one of the ingredients that often even the largest famous chef forget is celebration. Yes, celebration. Celebration of what? Celebration of any minor progress to achieve the goal. If we do not remember in seconds, last time we have celebrated, it means we are on the wrong path. Try to make this exercise. When is the last time we have celebrated? Birthday, Christmas? No. Too far. Me, the last time I've celebrated is this morning. First, because I woke up. That is not a given to everybody, especially during this time. Second, because I've been able to go to the toilet by myself. And I've been able to put my underwear and my trousers back. Let me check, yeah? Free of any help. Isn't all this to do what? To have breakfast with my sister and to come to meet you for a TEDx talk. But is not this fantastic? This morning I've celebrated already minimum 3 times to be on the conservative side. Now, I promise to my doctor and to St. Peter to add a warning to the recipe. This recipe should help us to become more adaptable. In other words, more successful and happy. However, it's not making us invulnerable. So please, I know you are young, but maybe at home there is somebody that has already passed this 50. Please add to your duty a basic maintenance program for that masterpiece of chemical engineer your body is. We don't need it to meet St. Peter to realize that we are already in paradise. And now, a real Mediterranean limoncello. Quoting a phrase from the famous novel Il Gattopardo of Giuseppe Tomasi di Lampedusa. Se vogliamo che tutto rimanga com'è, bisogna che tutto cambi. If we want everything to remain as it is, everything must change. Head spinning is normal, is the alcohol of the limoncello. In other words, Or let me rephrase it and maybe it's helping you. If we want to continue to our life happily, as we have lived it so far, everything must change. In other words, resisting to change is resisting to life. But if all this start to make sense, but let's embrace change. Exploding all our energy to realize dream and passions. We are in an evolving paradise. But in case you know a better place, please send me an email. Thank you.